So now that the TT on the Isle of Man is over, we can hopefully get back into semi-regular videos again. And while we've definitely not forgotten our last result with that amazing 1-2.
And Brazil, and there goes Ross. Off, as did Ardu. My goodness, what about Patrese now? Oh my goodness, this is fantastic. Senna is trying to go through on the inside, and it's hammered immediately. This is amazing. Senna goes off in the first corner. Big position, and out goes Piquet. My goodness, I couldn't help it. And take back. Oh my goodness.
It was an Italian Grand Prix of great joy for us as Ferrari got a 1-2 at their home race. It really was a turmoil of events, and if you didn't watch it last time, I recommend going back and seeing that. We moved to within 30 points of Williams, and actually with a snippet of a chance of still securing a second place. We've also got a board review just after this race weekend, which could really ultimately decide the series as a whole. A question I wanted to present to you guys is, do you want to see me have a quick review of the game footage that was shown of F1 Manager 23 by Frontier? Would you like me to present my thoughts of what we've seen so far and what that's looking like as a different format to what we've got now? Without further ado, I'm going to get you guys to the race. So unfortunately, as Zandvoort, we have slotted back into our usual place, but we are a bit closer overall to the top four, so I don't think we're necessarily out of the question. You can see Schumacher and Berger only split by hundredths, and even further to Mansell's only a tenth or so. It's actually Alain Prost that's not done as well this time, which is quite a shock and well out the norm. I think we need to get to our strategy and see what things we can do to make sure we get a podium. So we're actually going to go a little bit risky. We are going to try and take it a soft, hard approach. We're not going to try and push the tires too much, but hopefully this gives us a little bit edge in catching those front runners. But we could see ourselves drop out, but we have to take a risk. I've got the board view coming up. We could be sacked at that point. It's a low confidence at the moment. We need a good result to show why we take the job forward. Without further ado, here we go. It is the start of the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. We are away, and the Williams have got well. Patrese going to go down that inside, I believe. Prost already up the inside of Schumacher. What are we going to see else happen? Yep, Patrese well and truly in second. Mansell and Berger battling out for third place. Prost now securely into fifth. He's going to try and put some pressure on Berger coming up to him. Oh, it's going to be sweeping. They're going 3 wide nearly into this thin section of track. But Schumacher's coming back down the inside of Prost. Gonna go for it and gonna easily secure that. He is a man on a mission to prove he is a top driver as he goes flying over the curb. Keeps it composed. In actual fact, Prost is not letting that go either. I can't tell either drivers to stop fighting because they both have a right to battle for that. After last race, it could have been either of them. Prost now, he's going to try and find some space, but with Schumacher still continuing to battle him, there's nowhere for him to go. These two have not left the side of each other for the entire lap. Schumacher puts his car in front there, and that might be it. Apologies for the frame rate drop, guys. Not sure what's been going on. A little few issues at the Zandvoort track, but it should hopefully sort itself out soon. Not sure what's happening to the gap, but Schumacher not quite within the time we'd like with Mansell. Half a second, 6/10 down now. Senna obviously has pulled away. We need to make this work. We need to have an improvement if we are to see our position secured. So we've asked Schumacher to start pushing on his fuel in the hope that he can get something out of this. And, well, he is now right up the back of Mansell. And I'd hope he's going to go for a move on the main straight. But it's one of the hardest tracks to make overtakes. So this is why we've been quiet up until lap 5. There's not been a lot to talk about. Here we go, though. Schumacher getting just a little bit closer. I don't think he's close enough, though. And that is that sorted. We're just going to have to hope over the coming laps he gets closer. So Schumacher has locked up into turn 10. We didn't ask him to push for long, but it's been too much for him. Just goes straight on over the gravel. Luckily, he hasn't lost, you would think from that, he's lost a load of time. He's 2 seconds down on Prost now. And, well, that's not good for the tyre wear. Let's say that. We'll make Prost push now in the hope that he can maybe make a move and is less prone to mistakes. Schumacher now got a lot to build up. So far as a race, this has not been the quality we know and love. In actual fact, we dropped off the pace. The soft tyre just not making enough of a difference compared to that medium tyre. Still within fighting range. You know, neither driver is out of this. But we've got to try and come up with something different to make a move. 1.5 seconds is now the gap from Prost to Berger. That's kind of maintained that level where Schumacher is just slowly dropping off the pace. His tyres are a lot more wrecked and he'll probably be the first to pit. So Schumacher is pitting this lap. His tyres are nearly gone and it's one of those. What we're going to do is we're going to set Prost to push as much as he can to regain some of that gap before his stop. But it has definitely not been the first stint that we had hoped for. With Schumacher, hopefully he can then close the gap to Prost on fresher tyres, and Prost, hopefully, when he moves on to his tyres, will be in a lot better position to challenge the top four. But 4-second gap, you can just about see them in the distance above my mouse there. Yeah, he's got a lot of work to do. As Schumacher comes around the lap, I do push him a little bit. I think he has to, just to gain something. He's got not much to lose with no cars really behind him challenging. And Prost, obviously, is challenging the cars around him. Mansell's actually gone in already. That surprises me. I don't know what his strategy is. We are going to pit him now, because this is the ideal lap, and we are about that level. But Mansell, I'm surprised by that. Only just in the pits. I doubt Schumacher would catch him too far back, not even onto the last corner yet. But yeah, that is a strange one, and not what I expected from the Williams team. I would imagine they've gone into hard tyres, but my my strategy showed that there's not much in them to give that. Like, yeah, they're going for it. Okay, so Williams got an idea of something. Hopefully we're along those same lines as well. So an important part is that Prost now needs to disperse De Cesaris, and he's got a difficult part of track to do that in. Hopefully it won't be too much work to get past the Benetton driver. But I reckon that's going to hold us up quite a bit. What is the gap to Mansell? It's just over 4 seconds, so we haven't gained anything. We've actually lost a little bit. I think Mansell pitting that a little bit early helped him out. I'm hoping that we have a benefit of fresher tyres, even if it is only by a lap. That could come down to it in the last lap or so. Prost stuck on the rear of De Cesaris. He's not getting past. Oh, we've now lost a second to Mansell, all because he won't go past. Come on, Prost, you've got to do it somewhere. Go for a dive down the inside. We know what you can do. He goes round the outside. He's trying it. All this time, Schumacher has gained a load of time, and we've lost even more. 6.5 seconds now, the gap to Mansell. The other drivers haven't pit yet. Sorry, Senna has. Patrese and Berger hasn't. We've got to hope that there's a lot to gain from them continuing to be out there. But all this while, Schumacher has caught a little bit, and Prost is going to have to slow down a little bit on the tyres. I reckon he's probably overheating them a bit. Just got to manage this now. So it's been a pretty dull race so far, and I've not been able to bring you guys much content at all. Prost, in actual fact, is 2 seconds behind Berger after a split of 1.6 now. So we may have an opportunity there to catch someone, so we're going to put him on to push. But Schumacher is definitely out of the reckoning for the moment and just hoping to get a point at the back of the top 6 there. Can't really ask for much more than that. So even with Prost having pushed for a few laps, he's actually lost time to Berger. I think we're going to have to concede this one unless a mistake happens further upfield. It's been a tricky Dutch Grand Prix. Definitely the highs and lows of F1 in comparison to the last race. So something to provide you is not much, but Johnny Herbert had a crash at turn 1. Let's have a look at what it was. It's the first retirement of the race. Ooh, yeah. Dug his nose into the ground and off the tyre barrier. That's easily a retirement there. That's one thing F1 have talked about, Frontier have talked about, is the improvement to collisions with the walls. Like I said before, if you guys are interested, make sure you let me know, and I'll do a review of what they've provided so far. Maybe try and pull out little points that I notice. I wish I had something to bring you guys. We're on lap 51 of 72. We're coming up coming up against a lot of traffic. Get my words out correctly there. And it's just increasing that gap to Berger, 4.5 seconds now. One more car to clear, and Schumacher virtually in the same boat as well. He's just cleared a few cars. And that's it so far. There really isn't anything. I think PK did have a crash. I quickly skipped over that. I hope it's something I can bring you guys in 20 laps. Maybe some in the top 4 might have an incident. The other thing to report, Comas has had a collision into the wall, and let's see what happened here. Oh, that was a very oddly graphic one there. I don't think that's how Formula cars normally react. But that's as far as the entertainment goes so far in this race, is just occasional crashes. The top 4 have decided this is the race that nobody's going to make a mistake. Even Prost hasn't made a mistake. We've got 6 laps to go, and I'm sorry guys, it's been this kind of race. So maybe we'll use the extra time to see what the board think of us at the end of this one. So Senna has started the last lap. We're not even halfway around the penultimate lap. He is closer to us than we are to him. Schumacher has obviously lost a bit of time. His tyres are starting to go now after he pitted 2 laps early. He's done not bad, considering Prost will just about get to that mark as well. And I think everyone else is about good on their tyres. So no one else we're going to catch. Mansell could have been a possibility, but he is a good 10 seconds ahead. A disappointing race overall. Not even much I can say about this one. We'll zoom it along to get our boys across the line. But that is going to be, unfortunately, 5th and 6th for Prost and Schumacher. Where they started, just switched around. The start of the race seemed very promising, but quickly it was evident that it just didn't have the pace on the long distance. In the 1 lap pace, we were pretty good, but yeah, nothing to give us any kind of glimpses of a good hope there. And we come across 5th and 6th. So there's confirmation of that switch. No positions changed elsewhere, other than midfield. Midfield had a lot of action. I thought a few people well down. I don't know why it says +9 +34. They definitely weren't, but +2 laps for these guys. Even Brundle and Benetton. Not great. It was only the top 6 that didn't get lapped, if you can believe that. The Constructors obviously has no change, other than Williams have gone a bit further ahead. They are now 33 points adrift from us, and not looking like we're going to catch, unfortunately. So I've never had this before. Mid-season board review, the way it's been worded, so obviously we're not doing well. So their cash bonus mid-time is 0. And I believe we have the actual board review coming up, or was that it? Let's just have a quick check of the calendar. Ultimately, with F1 Manager 23 coming out on the 31st of July, don't have long left. So we will try and blast through as many races as possible, hopefully finish Season 3. But I think ultimately we're looking forward to a restart and a revamp. Thank you guys so much for your patience while I've been a bit slower with getting these videos out. I hope you're still enjoying it, and I'll see you next time. Take care.